Good morning and welcome back to K&A Ranch. You know what we do here. We're turning the barn and the property into three different things. We're turning it into a wedding venue. We're turning it into the Keeping History on Two Wheels studio. And we're turning it back into a active working horse farm. Everybody knows that a barn and everything in it serves a purpose. Even the things that you think may be cosmetic actually serve a working purpose. Even the paint in the barn, just to make sure that the wood doesn't rot. So everything serves a purpose. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some of the things that we're in the process of fixing and some of the things we have fixed, and some new problems that we have found since we started this venture. Doing everything all by myself, this is taking a little bit of time. So it's kind of slow going, but it's nothing that is over our ability to get accomplished. And when needed, I call in help. So why don't you come with me and let's take a walk through the barn and through the bridal suite that we're working on so that you can see exactly where we're at. You know, curb appeal is important, and the first thing that we wanted to do was to get the curb appeal from Highway 30, the main road, to looking as good as possible, as quick as possible. We had siding missing or rotting, and even a lot of unpainted wood. So we got busy replacing siding and broke out the paint sprayer. So far, 40 gallons of paint, and we're nowhere near done. As well as painting, we wanted to accent this huge barn at night, so we have placed some lights on the outside of the barn as well. As you can see, I still need to paint the window trim upstairs, and I'm building a ladder up the back of the barn to get to the wind vane housing because it needs some work too. Then on to pressure washing the roof. And what do you think after painting? I need to clean some damn windows. And then there's my arch nemesis, the tack room. And as you can see, all the way around the barn, I have some soffit work to do. So if you'll remember, I walked out into this area of the tack room, jumped up and down, and the whole floor just shook and sank all the way to the ground. Well, the reason being is because whoever built the room did not put a sill plate in the back. They did one along each wall to the sides, and they did one to the front, but they did not do one to the back. So what they had was a 2x8 sitting on the ground like this, and then the floor joist just sitting on top of it. Well, when the water started coming in through the roof, the water came down, hit that 2x8, saturated the dirt around it. Next thing you know, the 2x8 that was sitting directly on the ground rotted out. About half of the floor joists were rotten at the ends. So what I did was I put in a sill plate this past week, scabbed up some more 2x8 floor joists, used the ones that they look bad, but they're not bad. Looks can be deceiving. Spray bleach on them to kill any of the mold that might be growing on it that can cause more deterioration of the 2x8s. And started redecking the floor again. Trying to use the same wood if I can. Not going to be able to all the way around, but trying to use as much of the wood as possible so that the floor matches. Then we'll come back in, clean the floor, sand it, clean it again, and then either stain it or paint it, depending on what we end up doing as to the interior of the walls and etc. Gonna have to also reside the back, at least part of it, and then we'll start working on the roof and the front wall. Let me show you what's wrong with the front wall. If you'll remember, there used to be a door right here. I have since taken that door out, framed up the wall where we said we were going to make a closet, and I've put that same door into that closet. You got to save costs wherever you can. The door is fine, so why not reuse it? If you'll notice, this wall doesn't even have a top cap. The framing is done in inconsistent heights, and one section doesn't even have framing. So we're going to rebuild the whole wall, all before rebuilding a whole new roof. Over the last couple of weeks, I've noticed I've got a little friend hanging around the barn. What do you think? Call him Hawkeye Pierce? Okay, last but not least, let me show you what I found in one of the stalls. This is a load-bearing beam, okay? And down here at the bottom, I can run my hand all the way under it. Same thing with this beam here, but this beam's not load-bearing, it's just part of this wall right here. So, what I'm going to have to do here is dig it out, cut it off, pour another footing, and actually put a pylon under it, and then fill it up with concrete and bring it up to the post, which means I'm going to have to lift this wall up a little bit. Now, when you lift a wall, even lifting it half an inch can cause problems within the whole structure. So you have to be careful and take your time. It can take as long as 10 days with just using a couple of days of that to actually do the work, and that's not counting the pre-planning that goes involved with it. So as you can tell, we have a lot of work to do here. Now, we've done a lot of work but it's all mostly cosmetic, painting, that kind of thing. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of getting in here, changing out some floor plans, changing out some actual load-bearing structural components, and that's all before we can get to doing what we really want to do, and that's to build out the property to the three things that we want to do: horse farm, wedding venue, and keeping history on two wheels videos. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. It's right over here. And don't forget to hit that bell so that you'll be notified whenever we do an upload. And we do one each and every week, pretty much. Sometimes we miss them, but that's because we're just so busy doing this. So please hit that subscribe and that like button. And remember, every trip starts with a step. And that step, well, it starts with you.